Mitikaioresin. Jesus said, I've come to bring division. Father against son, mother against daughter. He gave further examples of family member pitted against family member. But you have to understand, this wasn't the end goal in itself. He was talking about consequence. Consequence of this radical message, this radical new way of living and embracing life. Because before him, this radical method did not exist. That's what made it radical. And today, we just consider it common sense. The idea of universal forgiveness, of universal redemption, of universal love, of universal regard for every single individual person. Before Christ, this was not extolled as a virtue. Before Christ, this didn't exist. He came up with a brand new way of living that now we embrace, we accept. But normally, what we do is we accept it as we need to be kind toward this group of people. We need to be understanding of these groups of people. But that group over there? No. That's not Christ's method. That's not Christ's message. That's not what Christ was saying. He was saying universally. Because even as he said this, and even as he was extending his hand of friendship toward the marginalized, he's hanging on the cross and he's dying the most brutal death imaginable. And he prays, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. He's talking about the Romans. He's talking about Pontius Pilate. He may have even been talking about Judas. Universal love, universal redemption, universal regard. So if you have Christians or anybody today who is saying, let's love them, let's have all regard for them, but those people over there, they don't believe what we believe. They're not following what they should follow. Therefore, condemn them. Therefore, dismiss them. Therefore, have nothing to do with them. That is not Christ's message. And even if you're not a Christian, as I keep telling you, this all started because of Christ. You can't say that I believe in love and I believe in acceptance and I believe in redemption. You can't say that if you don't acknowledge that this all started with Christ. And if you do say it, then you're just acting like a jackass. And Christ didn't come here to give you permission to act like a jackass. Sometimes this is difficult. Sometimes this takes some real effort. And you are capable. And if you deny that of yourself, and if you deny that of others, you got it wrong. You got it wrong. Jesus called out the Sadducees and the Pharisees because they were living hypocritically. But he didn't resort to violence. The worst he did is he overturned some tables in the temple, but he did not resort to violence. Instead, he let violence be perpetrated against him. You have no call to violence. You have no call to emotional violence and dismissiveness and calling people names and being vile toward them. You got it wrong. In the Gospels of Matthew and Luke, there are the recordings of Jesus saying family members are going to be against family members because of my radical message of love and acceptance. There were two other gospels that did not mention that, Mark and John. That doesn't cast doubt that Jesus said it. Just like when you're at a trial or a hearing and you have multiple witnesses who give multiple accounts from their points of views. The four gospel writers had different audiences in mind, and they focused on different aspects of Jesus's ministry. But taken together, you have a whole perfect picture. This happened. Jesus said it. And if you're doing anything different, you're wrong. And many of you know that you're wrong. Jesus did not give you permission to be a jackass. Love and connection and constantly striving to build, to forge that connection. It's the only way out of this mess that we've put ourselves in. So, my friends, peace. Friends, peace. 4 fingers. You be good to yourselves. And you be good to everyone and everything around you. Call out what you think is wrong. Call out what you think needs to be challenged. But always, always, always offer love and redemption and forgiveness. And always, intellectually, strive to find the solution where everyone is regarded, everyone is loved. Find the way out. These divisions that you keep fomenting, it's not the way. You got it wrong. It's not the way. Peace. Be good to yourselves.